It's 6:01 on today's TMJ4, and our breaking news coverage continues from the Vatican.
Pope Benedict is meeting with the College of Cardinals before he leaves the Vatican today.
And we're joined right now live by Father Robert Barron, who's been watching all of this. Father, thanks so much for taking some time with us here in Milwaukee this morning. My question to you is, as you've talked with just everyday Catholics, what do you sense is the level of interest that people have in the Pope's resignation and in the process to follow?
I think people are always fascinated, but especially this time because it's so unusual. We haven't seen a resignation in almost 600 years. I think there's a natural fascination with the whole process, the pageantry of it, the international quality of it, the drama. So I think people are always naturally fascinated by it.
Father Barron, this morning we saw the Pope meeting one by one with the Cardinals. What is that conversation like? And then what happens now as we move towards a conclave?
I'm sure the Cardinals were simply expressing their gratitude to Pope Benedict, their good wishes to him. The serious sort of, if you want, political conversations will start on Monday at the general congregations. Those are gatherings of the Cardinals where they assess the state of the church. They probably vet candidates in a sort of indirect way. But if you want, the politicking would begin then. Although I heard a report from Cardinal George, my boss in Chicago. He said, you've seen us Cardinals talking to each other, during the general audience yesterday. He said, we weren't just talking about the weather. So I'm sure that's true, that already there have been informal conversations.
Father, I'm curious too, because as a priest or as a whatever your position is within the church, it is a calling, but it is also a career. How do you balance that desire to move up in the profession, if you will, but also, we've heard probably Cardinal Dolan has been the most self-deprecating, saying, well, I have a better chance of playing, what did he say, taking A-Rod's position on the Yankees than I do as a Cardinal or as becoming Pope. You don't want to seem to be too focused on aspirations.
Yeah, that's true. I think in general, priests see their priesthood as a vocation, it's a calling. We always promise obedience to a superior, and so any kind of moving up in the church is simply a matter of responding to an invitation. Now, that said, the priests are human beings, and so we always have that temptation toward ambition, I suppose. In terms of the papacy, it's the same thing, is someone opens himself to the will of the conclave. And if the conclave votes, then they should be ready to serve. But, there's always a play of humanity in it, so we're dealing with ambition too. But I think, Cardinal Dolan has the right attitude, which is simply to surrender to the will of the Holy Spirit.
All right, Father Robert Barron, a contributor to NBC News, thanks so much for your time and especially for your insight this morning.
My pleasure.
For Milwaukee's